Hey everybody, it's Faizan. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the most interesting corners of finance and economics. Today, we're diving into a topic that's affecting millions of people around the world in a big way. Inflation. Specifically, we're looking at the top 10 countries with the highest projected inflation rates for 2024. Inflation eats away at your purchasing power over time, meaning the money you have today buys less tomorrow. And for the countries on this list, it's a big problem. So, buckle up and let's get started. Chapter 1. Venezuela. A textbook case of hyperinflation. First up, we have Venezuela, a country that's become almost synonymous with hyperinflation. We're talking about prices doubling, tripling, or even increasing tenfold in a matter of days or weeks. Venezuela's economic woes have been years in the making, driven by government mismanagement, corruption, and a heavy reliance on oil exports. When oil prices crashed, it sent shockwaves through the Venezuelan economy. Now, the official inflation rate is difficult to come by because it changes so rapidly. Some estimates put it well into the triple digits, meaning prices are more than doubling every few months. This has had a devastating impact on the Venezuelan people. The situation in Venezuela is a stark reminder of how fragile economies can be. Chapter 2. Zimbabwe. From hyperinflation to more inflation? Next up, we have Zimbabwe, a country that knows a thing or two about hyperinflation. In the late 2000s, Zimbabwe experienced one of the worst cases of hyperinflation in modern history. The government was issuing $100 trillion bills just so people could buy basic necessities. The causes of Zimbabwe's hyperinflation were complex, but much of it stemmed from government policies, like printing excessive amounts of money. Now, in recent years, Zimbabwe has managed to somewhat stabilize its currency by adopting the US dollar and other foreign currencies. However, inflation is still a major problem, with the IMF projecting it to remain in the double digits in 2024. The situation in Zimbabwe is a cautionary tale about the dangers of hyperinflation. Chapter 3. Argentina. A history of economic ups and downs. Argentina has a long history of economic booms and busts. High inflation has plagued Argentina for decades. Government spending is a main driver of inflation. Printing more money often leads to inflation. Corruption and currency crises add to the challenges. The rising cost of living is a constant struggle. Chapter 4. Let's shift our focus to Sudan, grappling with political instability and economic hardship. Conflict and political turmoil have taken a heavy toll on Sudan's economy. A shortage of foreign currency drives inflation. Sudan relies on imports, but lacks the currency to pay for them. This shortage has driven up import prices, fueling inflation. The recent political crisis has further disrupted the economy. Instability makes investors nervous, reducing foreign investment. Chapter 5. Let's turn our attention to Lebanon, a country in the throes of a severe economic crisis. Lebanon was once known as the Switzerland of the Middle East, with a thriving banking sector and a reputation for financial stability. However, in recent years, Lebanon's economy has been in free fall, and inflation has spiraled out of control. One of the key factors behind Lebanon's economic meltdown is its massive debt. For years, the Lebanese government has been living beyond its means, borrowing heavily to fund its spending. The situation in Lebanon is a stark reminder of how quickly a country's economic fortunes can change. Chapter 6. Moving on, we arrive at Suriname, a small South American country facing significant economic challenges. Suriname is a relatively unknown country, but it's currently grappling with one of the highest inflation rates in the world. One of the main culprits behind Suriname's inflation woes is its heavy reliance on commodity exports, particularly gold and oil. When the prices of these commodities fall, as they have in recent years, it can have a significant impact on Suriname's economy. To make matters worse, Suriname has also been hit by a decline in foreign investment and a depreciation of its currency. This toxic combination of factors has led to a shortage of foreign currency, which has made it more expensive to import essential goods. Chapter 7. Iran navigating sanctions and economic pressure. Let's now turn our attention to Iran, a country facing a unique set of economic challenges. Iran has been subject to international sanctions for many years, which have had a significant impact on its economy. These sanctions have restricted Iran's access to international markets, making it difficult to export its oil and other goods. The sanctions have also led to a shortage of foreign currency in Iran, making it more expensive to import goods. This has contributed to inflation, as businesses have been forced to pass on the higher costs to consumers. It's a tough situation for everyone involved. Our journey now takes us to South Sudan, a young nation facing immense economic and political challenges. South Sudan is one of the world's newest countries, having gained independence in 2011. However, its short history has been marked by conflict, instability, and economic hardship. One of the main drivers of inflation in South Sudan has been a sharp decline in oil production. Oil accounts for a significant portion of South Sudan's economy, so when oil production falls, it has a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. This decline in oil production has led to a shortage of foreign currency, making it more expensive to import essential goods. This drives up prices. Let's now turn our attention to Yemen, a country facing a devastating humanitarian crisis. Yemen has been ravaged by civil war for several years, which has had a catastrophic impact on its economy. The conflict has destroyed infrastructure, disrupted supply chains, and displaced millions of people. One of the main drivers of inflation in Yemen has been a blockade imposed by a coalition led by Saudi Arabia. This blockade has severely restricted the flow of goods and services into Yemen, leading to shortages and price hikes. Food, medicine, and other essential supplies are running low, and people are desperate. This blockade has had a devastating impact on the Yemeni people, who are facing widespread famine and disease. The situation in Yemen is a tragic reminder of the human cost of conflict. Finally, we arrive at Turkey, a country facing its own set of economic challenges. Turkey has experienced significant economic growth in recent years, but it's also been grappling with high inflation and a volatile currency. One of the main drivers of inflation in Turkey has been government policies, particularly its unorthodox monetary policies. The Turkish government has been reluctant to raise interest rates to combat inflation, fearing that it could slow down economic growth. This reluctance to raise interest rates has led to a depreciation of the Turkish lira, making it more expensive to import goods. That's the reality for many Turkish consumers, as the weak lira has made imported goods more expensive. The situation in Turkey is a reminder of the delicate balance between growth and inflation. That wraps up our look at the top 10 countries with the highest projected inflation rates for 2024. As we've seen, inflation is a complex issue with far-reaching consequences. It erodes purchasing power, creates uncertainty, and can destabilize entire economies. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time, stay informed and stay invested.